Hi Ky-Elians, and welcome to Season 3. Looking forward to this year. Doing things a little bit differently, trying to probably put a bit more point into my videos rather than just bits and clips and random stuff. As you can see, I've finally decided to put my face to my name, so hopefully this is something that you guys all like. Weird thing to say, but anyway. So today we're looking at Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Just a few of my thoughts on what I thought of the game and certain little bits and pieces, just to kick us off for episode 1 and this year. Really looking forward to seeing what you guys think of this and hoping that you'll enjoy what's more to come. So no more from me, guys. Let's get straight into this.
So I wanted to talk about this part of the game here, and that's about Sia fighting Vader. This part right here that we're watching has real A New Hope vibes, where Leia is giving the Plant Star R2-D2. Almost exactly the same thing happening here, and in comes Vader for this. And I don't know what it is. Like, Anakin, we know has got that flair for the dramatic, and every time he enters a room or anything that he's going to do that's going to be like badassery, it's always something like this. Do you reckon he knows that those flames are behind him? He knows what he's doing? Could he be using the Force to have that happen? I don't know, but it's just something that I would not be surprised if that's what he was doing. So people do have a problem with this one because Seer actually takes it right up to Vader and almost beats him, and everyone seems to think that that's an issue, that shouldn't have happened, that Vader's so powerful that it should not have happened. But we can already know that through everything that we've watched so far in the movies, especially because I don't know how many people have actually read the comics, and I suppose if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan you would have. But Vader's actually been beaten by Obi-Wan Kenobi at least 3 times, possibly. So, like, Revenge of the Sith, he gets beaten just as he turns to Darth Vader, and that's what gets him into this suit, pretty much. So, we all know that. It's not anything groundbreaking, but Obi-Wan beats him then. And he's supposed to be the chosen one, don't forget. So, imagine what Obi-Wan's thinking doing that. He also then beats him again after that in the Kenobi series, and has that showdown. Yeah, alright, Vader does beat him to begin with, tries to burn him like he got burnt and all that sort of stuff, but in the end, Kenobi does beat him. Again, Vader lost. Now, if he's that powerful, he shouldn't have lost to Kenobi anyway. And if you're saying that Kenobi is as that powerful as a Jedi, he was broken. He had to get reconnected to the Force. Almost the same thing as Seer had to do while she was recovering from the fact that she went to the dark side to get out of the, what's the thing, the Inquisitoria place. So, why can that not work the same for her? And the argument could be made that Obi-Wan actually won in A New Hope as well. He literally let Vader strike him down and said, you know, if you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you'll ever imagine. And that's what happened. So, in other words, like, you know what I mean? Like, Vader can be beaten. So if you've got that issue with it, you've got to understand that Vader can struggle with people as well, especially people that are strong in the Force or have a good connection to the Force. Seer actually says in this as well that she's let go of her fear, so she's not scared of Vader anymore, which could very well be a thing that actually helps her. I think that does come up eventually in this clip as well. There's also a thing to be said for the comics that when Vader just got his robotic body, that he went around hunting Jedi and he found one, can't remember where it was, and he started fighting him, but because he wasn't used to his body yet, he was clunky and he was getting his ass whooped. Till the Jedi stupidly said to him, use the Force to help move your body parts. And then there you go. Vader absolutely demolished him after that, which was dumb. Like, I don't know why you would have said it, but he said it. The other thing I really wanted to point out here is, as you can see, as Vader's fighting, he's using one hand, as he does, to battle people. Doesn't really stress out on getting 2 hands a lot of the time, until Seer starts getting on top. And then we see him start reaching for 2 hands. I mean, yes, we did just see it then, but he goes through a 2-handed grip as Seer starts to beat him. My thing with this is that it was an awesome battle. It showed so much where Seer came from and what she's overcome, and then to the point where this is the guy that tortured her. This is the one that she told Cal about in Fallen Order. So she's face to face with her worst nightmare here, and she nearly wins. It's amazing. See the 2-handed grip now? So there you go. He definitely sees her as at least a threat. And here we are with that scene. Vader is just so confident with it, but here he goes, using his two hands, using the one hand. It's an awesome battle. No two ways about it. It's great. Now the only thing that I don't understand, and we're gonna probably skip forward at this point to the end of the battle here. Why she does this? She launches herself up into the air and attacks and misses him just, and then he gets her. Just misses. Can you believe that? I mean, how annoyed would you be if you were Seer? I can almost understand how, as she's got stabbed, she just stands there and goes, right. Like, come on. Unbelievable that she missed him by that much. And I don't understand how, but I guess that's got to be what you've got to go through with it. So, all in all, I think that people need to understand that Vader can be beaten and that this is okay. And this really does add to the story. And I would imagine that in the next installment of this game, we're going to see Seer again as a Force Ghost or something like that. So that should be interesting. I also love the mutual respect that Vader seems to have for her at the end there. He could have struck her down, really made sure that she was ended. But the fact that she just went, right, you got me. He just walked off and let it happen. Like, I was like, that there says everything you need to know about this scene. So I want to be upfront and honest with this part. I didn't trust Bode fully the whole time. There was just something. I don't know. He just seemed... I don't know. He was just sus. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something. I did not pick what the actual twist was, though. Like, I figured he had something to do with the Empire. But it wasn't entirely true. To an extent, but it was. But his character was great. I did like the whole rationale behind his character doing what he does. It was something that I feel like as a parent I could relate to. I would do probably the same things he would have done if it meant keeping my kids safe as well. It just seems that Jedi just aren't good at not having attachments, are they? Anakin, and then you've got Cal, and then you got Bode, for an example. It always seems to go wrong for them when they've got those attachments. Understanding why the Jedi are telling him not to have those attachments now. You know what I mean? The only thing is I would have loved to have seen Bode being redeemed. Yeah, I mean, his rationale, because he was doing everything for his daughter, was great. I understood that. I understand turning to the dark side because you're doing that to help your daughter, to save them. That gives you power. You draw on all that sort of stuff. But at the end there, when they're on Tanalorr, and Cal was like, "All right, let's be good. We don't want to do this. We want to keep you alive for Carter's sake and all that sort of stuff." And then Bode just turns around and is like, "Nah, screw it." What? Like, his whole thing was to get to Tanalorr so that they could be safe from the Empire. Then they get to Tanalorr, and then he's like, well, when the Empire gets here, how safe we're really going to be? And it's like, well, mate, you just said that that's what you wanted to do. So why is it now not okay? And then they're giving you that chance of saying, look, we can help you with all of this. We can really work with you, and we can make it a safe place for everyone. And he just goes, what about when the Empire's going to be there? And you're like, well, but how would they? Like, if you hadn't given them the information that they wanted, then how would they get there? So, him not being redeemed is a bit of a thing for me. I would have loved to have seen them actually get to someone. I feel like that probably would have set Cal up for more in the future. Like, being able to save someone from the dark side would have made him feel so much better, and especially about his plight, which I'm going to get into eventually in this video as well. But his plight as well into the dark side would have helped him a lot. That's what bumped me. Like, it just didn't make sense that he was like all about saving his daughter, but then when they're like, well, we can help it and give you a safe place to live, safe from the Empire, which is what we're looking for Tanalorr for, and then after all, you're just like, nah, that's not going to happen. And then your daughter's telling you not to, and then you go ahead and do it anyway. It's kind of like, mate, where were your priorities? Like, it feels like you're a tad more selfish than you were actually pretending you were being. So Cal was right. He actually turned around and said to him that he was willing to sacrifice everyone else for himself. So I feel like Cal nailed that one on the head. Still loved the Bode character, still thought that it was an amazing twist. I did not see the Jedi part from him coming. That was awesome, so I really enjoyed that. I love that they put this struggle into it. So Cal has obviously had a lot of losses. He's lost friends, he's lost family, he's lost his master, his order, his everything. And it isn't until now that we finally see him embrace the darkness. So the thing is, it's saying into embrace it now. We're not really seeing if he's fully turned to the dark side or if he's just battling with all these negative emotions that he's been dealing with, and this is the result of it. It doesn't really explain it. I mean, there's a part near the end where, for some reason, Merrin, who he now has some sort of a love relationship with, which I'm not even sure why they went that way, but they did, and it was out of nowhere, but whatever. Yeah, like, without her, he would have turned to the dark side, but he's embraced the darkness, and that ability that you just saw us use then, he's able to then use even after this, which is cool, but does that mean he is now a grey, quotation mark, grey Jedi? Like, is he now using both sides of the Force, but without fully being corrupted by the dark side? And if so, like, what does that mean for the rest of his arc? I mean, there has to be another game for this, because the way it ended with him with Carter, or however you say her name, and everyone there looking at the lightsaber left on the ground from the ancient guys, like, what does that all mean? Is he still destined to become a teacher of all those students? And now, if you remember back to Fallen Order, we see him actually having that vision of he started a school and everyone's calling him Master Kestis, and then the Empire come to absolutely destroy it. So, is that still something that we're going to see in the next one? Is that still something that can happen? Because of it, now that he's on Tanalorr, he think he's safe. Somehow they get through the abyss to get to the planet and then ruin everything for him, just like Bode's predicted himself. So it'd be very interesting to see if that's the route they go, and I want to see him fall. Honestly, I'd love to see him fall to the dark side, at least for a little bit in the game. I would even be happy with, at the start of the next game, he falls, and all his team are trying to bring him back. I would love to see that. I'd love to see them succeed and him actually redeem, like the Seer storyline, and then that way it's sort of like he's learnt from all his masters. That, you know, from Tarpo, from Seer, Cordova was there, who he's learnt to sort of, I feel like he's learnt to think outside the box a bit because of him. He followed him in the Fallen Order, but he actually got to meet him in this, which is cool. So, really, really interesting stuff for that one there, and I really hope that they explore this more in the next game. Alright guys, so that's all my thoughts so far on the game. I wanted to kind of give you guys some predictions, I guess, of what I think might happen for the next game, because it definitely has to be, like I mentioned. So I honestly think that Cal will fall to the dark side. It's got to happen. I mean, it just seems to complete the circle, bring balance to the whole gaming thing, and really show us what would happen to fall. Like I said, that Cal not being able to save Bode or get him back from the dark side, I think was a big miss. It really would have set him up, and I think that's why we're going to see him fall into the dark side. He couldn't save someone. It's going to mess with him, and he's going to fall into it. I honestly think that Seer will come back as a Force Ghost, maybe either to try and help Cal not fall, or to try and get him back from it. We'll see what happens there. And I think Vader will show up again. He's already shown up in both, so he will probably show up again. So whether or not he tries to recruit Cal to the Inquisitors, or he tries to get him as his apprentice or something like that, who knows? We'll find that out, but something like that. Alright guys, so thank you very much for episode 1. I'm glad you guys come and watch it. I hope you like the new format and the new way we're doing things. It's only going to continue to get better, I really hope. If you really are wanting to get involved with this, I do encourage people to give me some feedback. You can go to my website and to my email me page, and you'll be able to see that, which I'm going to show you what it is in a minute now. Actually, you know what? How about we do this? And now for those housekeeping matters. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. All those links can be found in my bio. And at the bottom of the screen is my website. Go and check that out. There's a few different bits and pieces on there that I think you'd really enjoy, so make sure you head over and have a look. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope to see you for the next episode. Talk at you later.
PlayStation